Welcome to Peak World. In today's episode, we focus on the history of the oldest liberation movement in Africa, but the last to obtain freedom in the continent. Today, the ANC is at its lowest, having lost the national election for the first time in May 2024. However, if the history of South Africa is to be told properly, it must be acknowledged how the ANC has shaped the nation and the SADC region. The ANC played a pivotal role in shaping the face of South Africa. While it might be experiencing serious governance challenges now, which I will discuss later in this video, the ANC managed to make South Africa a better place in Africa and brought peace to the land, preventing civil or race wars. There was a time when merely mentioning you were an ANC member commanded respect, but nowadays, the name ANC is unfortunately associated with negative things. Let me emphasize this. The ANC was not founded to be a regional party or a tribal movement. It was founded to be a weapon of the native, which is why its name contains African. History tells us that when the ANC was formed, after the wars of resistance when chiefs and kings were defeated in their smaller regions, and the Union of South Africa was established, favoring only one race, the native people devised a plan to unite. Pixley Isaka Seme famously said, "We are one people. These divisions, these jealousies are the cause of all our woes today." On January 8, 1912, chiefs, representatives of peoples and church organizations, and other prominent individuals gathered in Bloemfontein and formed the South African Native National Congress, later became ANC. The ANC declared its aim to bring all Africans together as one people to defend their rights and freedoms. Thus, the ANC was a unifier of African people, fighting for freedom as a united force. In 1913, the Land Act was put into action, which limited Africans to owning land only in certain places. This led to forced removals, where Africans were forcefully removed from economic areas, becoming laborers on the land of their forefathers. The ANC was led by the best among us at the time. Among its founding leaders were Reverend John Dube, who became its first president, Pixley Isaka Seme, and founding Secretary General Sol Plaatje. This group comprised the most educated and intelligent Africans of that era, making the ANC very attractive. The ANC's idea was not born out of hate, but out of love for the African people. This group attempted to fight for rights through diplomacy, sending delegations to England, but they did not receive a positive response. The ANC had many soft leaders, but the situation of segregation worsened. In the 1940s, a new generation of members founded the ANC Youth League, with key founding members including AP Mda, Walter Sisulu, Nelson Mandela, Oliver Tambo, and founding Youth League president Anton Lembede. Among these Youth League leaders were lawyers and intellectuals. They were among the best to lead this generation. It was this generation that truly revitalized the ANC, introducing the program of action and advocating for freedom in our lifetime. Because in those days, segregation and oppression of Africans were rampant. Things became even worse in 1948, when apartheid began. If you are benefiting from this video, please like it and subscribe. The ANC then became a mass movement, and the Defiance campaign commenced, aiming to fight apartheid peacefully, remembering that the ANC was being led by educated individuals and pastors. In 1949, the ANC was led by A.B., South Africa's first black medical doctor. After his term, James Moroka, also a medical doctor, led from 1949 to 1952. The ANC was not merely a South African party. Even Robert Mugabe was a member of the ANC Youth League while he was at Fort Hare University. The ANC influenced many freedom fighters. There was an ANC in Zimbabwe, for example, led by Joshua Nkomo, which was banned in 1963. Many liberation movements across the continent drew inspiration from the ANC. Even though the ANC attained freedom later than some, it was not just a South African party, but a continental movement. This is why they defeated tribalism long ago, while Bantustan leaders were forced to divide Africans based on tribe. After James Moroka's term ended, the leadership passed to the Nobel Peace Prize winner Albert Luthuli, who was a chief and a pastor. It was during his reign that the first breakaway party emerged, when the Africanist left the ANC to form Plaatje under the leadership of Zimbabwe, with complaints that included the Freedom Charter and making ANC a multiracial movement. Perhaps in another episode we can focus on the Pan-African Congress, PAC, returning to the ANC. It was a very peaceful party until the Sharpeville massacre, where 69 unarmed people were brutally killed by the apartheid government. It was then that Nelson Mandela and others devised a plan for military training, even though the idea was contested within the movement. On April 8, 1960, the ANC was banned by the apartheid government, but some ANC leaders were already in exile, mobilizing international support. Those who remained in the country worked underground. In 1961, Nelson Mandela and others formed the paramilitary wing of the ANC, where people would be trained to fight apartheid, fire with fire. After a few sabotage operations, Nelson Mandela and other ANC leaders were arrested for treason in 1962. Fortunately, Oliver Tambo was already in exile. In 1963, Tambo went to the Soviet Union to formalize the relationship with the ANC so that ANC members could receive training. Before his arrest, Mandela himself had visited Tanzania to seek military support or establish a military base. In 1967, after the death of Chief Albert Luthuli, O.R. Tambo became president. He is the longest-serving ANC president, leading during a very difficult time, but he kept the movement intact. Many initiatives were implemented during his reign, such as establishing a mass movement within the country, like the United Democratic Front, which pushed the struggle internally, and forming partnerships with workers' unions. Fast forward, the ANC was recruiting members in small numbers until June 16, when angry young people started joining the ANC in exile. I believe the ANC began to encounter rotten apples during those days, as even enemy agents started to join the movement. We are also told that thugs, fleeing the law, would join the ANC in exile, though this issue can be debated. The ANC has benefited from the leadership of Steve Biko, even though Biko was not a member of ANC, because some members of the Black Consciousness movement, such as Tokyo President Cyril Ramaphosa, later left the movement and became leaders within the ANC. The ANC did well to recruit academics in the 1980s. Many members came from teachers' training colleges, and they used these institutions to fight the Bantustan government alongside students from colleges, especially in institutions located near the border, like Turfloop University, which produced many ANC leaders. I even doubt there was any university where the ANC did not have members working underground. Some would even go into exile directly from universities. The ANC fought hard for liberation until a peaceful settlement was reached via the Codesa negotiations. As a people, they did not destroy this country by chasing away other races or seeking revenge. In 1991, the ANC had Nelson Mandela as its new president, and he became the president in the new democratic government. Even in those days, the ANC was still led by the best among us. Many local councillors were teachers or held qualifications, and leaders in provincial and national government commanded respect. However, the problems started after the Polokwane Conference, where the ANC introduced the policy of having one centre of power, which automatically meant that people skilled in mobilization would become leaders in government. Back then, the ANC was led by the best among us, but today we cannot say the same. The ANC is now associated with questionable characters, especially in local government. It is widely believed now that people join the ANC as a get-rich-quick scheme. As they have lost power in the national government, a miracle is needed for them to regain it with the current leaders. People complain about potholes, and instead of fixing them, the response is simply to put up a sign that says, "Beware of potholes." Nevertheless, the ANC has done well in uniting Africans of different tribes and fighting tribalism in South Africa. If there had been no ANC, I doubt we would have had a vendor president in South Africa. It reduced people's tendency to vote along tribal lines because the ANC is represented by all Africans. What do you think was the downfall of ANC? Corruption, wrong leaders, or lack of experience in governance? Let us know in the comments below, and remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more Peak World content. Until next time, keep rising to the peak.